Chris here with the Lan Khaleesi MG600 Plus. So this is the second Lan Khaleesi bike that I am covering now, and I do happen to like this brand. Their build quality, what they offer, seems to be quite good for a reasonable price, although a little on the expensive side. This model is about 1,800 euros. So we've got 26-inch sized wheels. They've got those 4-inch wide fat tires on them. So they're spongy tires that I'm only running about 11 PSI in these. The max is 20, and it helps soak up a lot of the little bumps and things. We've got a front shock here that has approximately 50 to 60 millimeters of travel. You can lock it out at the top, and then we do have adjustable preload too with it. So it's a hard tail, there's no shock on the rear, but with these nice spongy fat tires, that's not really too much of an issue. We've got a bike rack, as you can see here. Now this bike rack, it doesn't state the load capacity, but it should be somewhere around 15 to 10 kilos is normally standard for these. We have a rear tail light. Now this is a tail light that is reasonably bright too, so good for added safety, and plastic mudguards, as you can see. Now these mudguards, they are secured in place quite well, so they do not rattle, not even the front one either, although you might sometimes hear actually a little bit out of that one. Front headlight, nice and powerful too, so it lights up the path ahead of you, making nighttime riding just that little bit safer. And with this model, we've got a very powerful rear hub motor, so it's 1,000 watts. And if you've got the unlocked version, you can get up to a maximum speed of about 46 kilometers per hour. This one, of course, is locked down to 25 kilometers per hour. So it is a rear hub motor that has got a lot of power, really does help you out with the climbs. And we're looking at a seat post here that can lower right down and cater for rider heights of 160 to about 190 centimeters. The gearing here, we've got Shimano's Altus, very low end, 7-speed setup here, and a painted chain. The front crank here, this has 52 teeth, and it looks like it's got a mid-mount motor, the design of it here, but in fact what is within there is just the controller for our battery. So the battery bank located right here, it's 20 amp hours. They're using brand cells too within it from Samsung, and they claim you can get mileage of range, that is, up to 150 kilometers. I'm getting nowhere near that, and I'll let you know at the end of this video what I'm able to achieve. So it is locked into place, this battery, and you've got a key there, 2 of them they give you, so you can remove it. You can charge it either in the bike itself or take it out and charge it in your home, in your office, if you wanted to do so. Now the seat here, nice and wide, it's got plenty of padding to it, and it does feel quite soft and comfortable. So for brakes, we've got these 180 millimeter disc brakes, hydraulic calipers, and the brand of them is Dieselin. I've seen them before on the other Lan Khaleesi model that I did review, and they do offer very solid braking performance. The kickstand, no problems with it. It does not rattle. It seems to support the weight of this bike, which is very heavy, of course. It's 37 or 36 kilos, really heavy. And these pedals, they're not Walgo pedals, but Sunyun, some sort of Chinese brand there. They seem to be all right, made out of metal. Now the paint finish and the welds and everything to do with the frame is looking excellent, no problems. Nothing of concern. I don't feel any flex in the frame, any areas that could crack or anything. The only part that does feel a little bit cheap is this plastic cover that goes over where the controller is within. The Dieselin brake levers, these are adjustable, have a good feel to them, being hydraulic, a lot better than cable pull systems. And here we have not a lock grip, but a standard just silicone one here. Now it doesn't seem to move about. It is reasonably solid, but a little bit cheap here. I wish they went with higher quality lock grips. So our controller here to turn it on and off, obviously up and down the pedal assist levels. There are 5 in total. We've got our info screen that you can cycle through. This is to turn the light on. And if you press and hold this, there is a walk function as well, which does come in handy since this is a very heavy bike to push up a hill, weighing around about 36 kilos. So the handlebar is height adjustable. You can raise it up or down. Now, if you need to know the dimensions of this bike, please check out the link in the description. That will take you over to the website where you'll find all of that info. Then on the right, we have our twist throttle style. So it's a lot like, say, a moped or a scooter, and it will just go straight away if you have it on and in a pedal assist level. Now, it originally out of the box comes disabled, but I've enabled it here just for the purposes of this video. I'll disable it again later on. And we have our gear selectors. This is to go down the gears, and up the gears is right here. Typical Shimano. It does work well, and I don't really have any problems with it, even if it is entry level, the cassette and the gears that we do have from Shimano. And our screen here with all of our information is displayed nice and clearly, although I wish it was a little brighter. It's quite reflective too. So we have our battery gauge at the top here. Each one of the bars represents 20%. There are 5 bars, of course, there. We've got our speed, pedal assist level, and then our trip information right here down the bottom. The MG600 Plus does have an attachment point here for a front basket. That is sold separately, but it's an option if you did want that. And then on to riding the MG600 Plus. What is it like? Well, it's got a large frame, it's very comfortable, and because it's got this step through, very easy to get onto the bike too. Now, the size of it, I think it's going to cater for a lot of people because the seat can be lowered, as I showed you before, reasonably low, and the handlebar height can be adjusted. So where I've got it now, I'm in an upright position. So it's using a speed sensor, not a torque sensor. When you start to pedal, it detects that, and you can get up to 25 kilometers per hour. Now, I do have the throttle enabled. Originally with the EU version, it was disabled, but I unlocked that so I can just give that a twist on the throttle there, and I don't even need to pedal at all. So it is a very cruisy bike, just riding along here, really comfortable, nice big spongy fat tires, soaking up everything, although this ground here is very smooth at the moment. Now the Shimano gears, those 7 gears there, very good with the changes, no problems. As long as that derailleur hasn't been knocked in the box, you shouldn't have any issues because the factory does align them. So the top speed will be limited depending on your region. So if you've got the US version, I believe that is unlocked, but this EU one is locked down to 25 kilometers per hour. So it is quite hard to pedal over 25 kilometers per hour with these tires, with the weight of the bike. It's only downhill that I can comfortably ride up to 30 kilometers per hour. So coming up to the climb test spot here, I don't have any concerns about this not being able to climb this particular climb, which is about 20 degrees, 25 in patches, because we've got a 1000 watt motor here. Now I am pedaling and I am in the fourth gear here, and this is just doing it really no problems at all, down to about 18 kilometers. Now I could stop pedaling, which I will do now, and then just use the throttle. And even with just the throttle power, I'm able to climb up this 18 kilometers per hour. So it's got plenty of power. Now if you do have the unlocked version, then you'll be just rocketing up this. You won't be going at 18 kilometers per hour. You'll probably be doing about 25, 30 even. Then my braking test from approximately 30 kilometers per hour. We've got 180mm disc brakes, hydraulic, good brakes. Okay, we made it to just past this post here, so that isn't the best braking performance I have seen. It's a heavier bike, but no, these brakes are very good. They're solid, great bite to them as well. They took about 15-20 kilometers to bed in to achieve their maximum braking performance. And what about a little bit of off-roading? Just light stuff here. It does well, again, because of the nice spongy 4-inch fat tires, soaking up a lot of this light rock here, making the ride pretty smooth. Now I've got a big drop here at the end. Should be able to handle it just fine, this bike. Done a really good job going over this. And here we go, the drop. Not bad at all. Then onto our range. Lankeleisi's claim with this bike is a little over-exaggerated, I feel, because they say 150 kilometers range out of a single charge from the 20 amp hour battery. But I'm not getting close to that. I'm getting around about 100, 110 maybe, because every battery bar that I lose, I cover around 20, 21, sometimes 18 kilometers, which is very good. Now, aided by the fact that, of course, we've got 26-inch size wheels here, and with the fat tires on them, they come out to be almost like a 29-inch size wheel. And do remember that when I ride over 25 kilometers per hour, it's not using the motor there. And it depends, of course, on your rider weight, the climbs you're doing, but the range is excellent. Very, very good here with this particular model. I'm able to achieve over 100 kilometers on a single charge there. But 150, I just don't see that being possible. So there's a lot of things I like about this bike. The finish, the frame, the look of it too as well. The comfort of riding this, it's excellent upright riding position. It's very cruisy, very smooth, very comfortable ride. Braking performance is good. The front shock, I made an error before. I said it was about 60, I think, millimeters to 80 millimeters. It's more like 80 to 100 millimeters of travel with the front shock, looking at the grease marks on it. And yes, it looks a lot cleaner now. This is another day of me shooting here. I've washed the bike. I got all the dust off it for some of the B-roll shots that I was taking before. The gears, fine, no problems. They're nothing amazing, but they don't great gears, they're not misaligned. I have really no issues. We've got the bike rack, very good lights on this bike here, and you have the throttle if that is legal for you, which it isn't for me. So I'm going to go back to disabling this now, of course. The cons of the bike then is the price tag. It's a little pricey. You do get a slightly better bike, definitely compared to others I've covered, but it's around 1,800 euros, 1,900 euros. So that is expensive, about 2,000 US dollars. The other is, of course, the obvious one, the weight. This style of bike is always going to be heavy, especially all that extra reinforcing they've put in the frame around here for this style of frame. Being a step through, it's 37, 36 kilos. So it's a big, heavy bike. It won't be for everyone for that. But thank you so much for watching my review here of the Lan Khaleesi MG600 Plus.